exactly what you need in this era of basketball. You got to defend the three, and you got to be able to make the three. And the more people you have that can do that, then the better chance you have of winning.
Yeah, I like why get rid of these like really undervalued people in order to bring in like one superstar, you know, because I think Bradley and Green are really, really good players, and they make their contributions to the team, and we're definitely a part of them winning the championship. So, and they don't like cost that much, and they're not overhyped. So why not like just keep them, you know, in the back of your pocket, so then they can make really, really important contributions.
Yeah, yeah, man.
Yeah, like Keith was saying, they're pretty cheap. They're cheap players. They're not like costing you 20 million a year. So you can keep that cap space and maybe get a third star in the next free agency signing period. But I think you use the cap space to just fill out the roster a little bit more. Maybe get a point guard to back up Rondo.
Well, let me ask this for you guys real quick. Let's say they make this trade for Dennis Schroeder and they give up Danny Green and Kuz or some picks and stuff. Does Dennis Schroeder keep his 6-man role, or do you think he starts on the squad?
I think he'll come off the bench, yeah, and he'll be a bench scorer for sure. Just because I think Rondo stays in the starting position at point guard with LeBron and AD uh, in the starting lineup. You don't have to have him in the starting lineup for scoring. I think he'll do good coming off the bench to lead the bench scoring and help them stay afloat, I guess, whenever LeBron's not on the floor. But like I said, I don't think you make that trade. I think you keep Danny Green, keep your pick, and just run it back basically with the team you have.
Um, I agree, but I think if you get him, he might make his way into the rotation based on how good of a player he is. But I really don't want to get rid of Danny Green if I am like the GM of the Lakers. Again, like to me, uh, if I want to get Schroeder, I would give up Kuz and a couple of high picks. But other than that, I wouldn't really uh, make a big move on him because I think Danny Green is really, really valuable to the team.
He's a valuable player, man. But if I'm that GM, get out of here, man. Like, if it's for Dennis Schroeder, that dude, any other year, he would have been the 6 man of the year. And I think it's a toss up between him or Rondo starting because if you have him starting, you're going to get that more scoring in your starting lineup. Uh, and then you have Rondo to facilitate the second group. But if you switch
But
it
they don't
around,
need the scoring in the starting lineup. They need it in the bench whenever because the plus minus for them whenever LeBron wasn't on the floor was like negative 13. They
yeah,
need bench scoring. Dennis
yeah,
Schroeder would be a bench scorer. That's what they need for them. But they don't need to get rid of anybody. They don't need. I'm telling you, Dennis Schroeder's not as good as you think, Jason. Chris Paul made him look really good.
Oh, bro, Dennis Schroeder is pretty cold, man. I remember him in Atlanta too. Like, dude's just he's kind of nice with it, but no, I just think I don't think he's the facilitator that Rondo is. That's all I'm saying. It could be a toss up because I could see them saying that they need Rondo to lead the second group because if you put Schroeder in that group, you could see that group really like that plus minus really suffering in terms of facilitating and stuff. But we'll move on from that, and we're talking about some of the young players in the league. What can we expect from rookies coming into the league? So I got 3 rookies for you guys. We're going to talk about these guys and what their points, assists, and rebound averages are going to be. So let's see this. My first one is LaMelo Ball. I have him at 12 points, 6 to 7 assists, and 4 rebounds. Brandon, what do you think?
How many points did you say?
12 points.
I think he gets closer to like 18.
Ooh.
18 points a game, 6 assists, and 6 rebounds.
Okay, okay, I can see that. Keith.
I also think maybe around like 18, 17 points a game, a little less than 6 assists, and maybe one or two more rebounds, 5 or 6 around that because he likes to be in the paint. But that's a little bit more scoring, a little less assists.
All right, I see that. I see that. All right, James Wiseman. I got 15 points for the Rook, 2 assists and 10 rebounds. Brandon.
I think he's projected to get drafted by the Warriors, so I think he'll get 12 points a night and 8 boards maybe.
A board. Keith.
Think he gets. I'm not really sure, but I don't think he's going to get up to 15 points, 4 or 5 assists, and maybe 10 rebounds tops.
All right, I can see it. I can see it. And then we got Edwards, Anthony Edwards. I got him at 13 points, 5 assists, and 6 rebounds. I thought that was pretty generous, just because he's such an athlete. But Brandon, what do you think?
I think he's gonna average like 20 points a game,
Oh,
5 or 6 rebounds, and only like 1 or 2 assists maybe.
you got high hopes for the dude, man, don't you?
I also
What are you
really have high
talking
hopes
about,
for him.
Jason?
I think
He's a
he
scorer.
might get.
I think you're undervaluing how much these guys are gonna score because, like,
Yes,
I
yeah.
mean, you're overvaluing James Wiseman, but
Nah,
Lamelo,
bro.
what are you talking?
Nah,
Lamelo's a
man.
shooter, and James Wiseman's a freaking paint. The center is not a valuable piece in today's league, really. They just aren't.
Well,
But
think about
Anthony
it, man.
Edwards is gonna get 20 a night.
If you think about it, most of these guys are either going to the Warriors or they're going to the Timberwolves. I forgot who the third pick in the draft is, and you guys can remind me. But if one of these guys go to the Warriors, I don't see them scoring a lot. I see them just adding to the
James
puzzle.
Wiseman is the one that is projected to go to the Warriors, and you had him the highest projected points that you just of the three that you just
Yeah,
said.
I mean, 15
Then
isn't a lot.
why? I know, but that's higher than Lamelo and
So what I was saying was 15 points, man. 15 points. I see him being the best big man they have, which is a spot that they could use, and not just because they need a big man, but because he's very, very agile for a big man. I see him being resembled to a DeAndre Ayton, um, but I see him getting about 15 points, not too much. I just think it'd be a good amount just because of how much they shoot. I can see him getting putbacks. I say 2 assists just because you got Draymond out there who's a great passer. You got Steph who's a great passer. Clay, he's going to get his chances. I got 10 rebounds just because those guys are going to shoot, and I just see him getting a lot of rebounds. Lamelo, I can see him going to either one of those places. If he goes to the Warriors, which I don't know why they pick him, but if he does, I don't see him scoring much. If he goes to the Timberwolves, I can see him stepping in that role and being that budding star beside them. But uh, they just got some stars there. They got Cat. I think they still got D'Angelo. I could see that being kind of because they're both great passers. I think LaMelo is the superior passer. That's why I got him at 6 or 7 assists. But I just think 12 points was kind of like the least I'd give him. I could see him scoring more, but also I don't see him scoring lower than 12. Uh, Anthony Edwards, you know, I think he's going to be the second or third pick in the draft. I just don't think he'll go number one. He could, though. It's very likely. I just think the Warriors would pick either Wiseman or LaMelo. Edwards, I can see him just averaging a cool 13, 5, and 6. I mean, it's not bad rookie numbers. I think it's pretty the best all around out of all these guys. I just feel like he'll be the best athlete and just be the best in terms of getting all these. But Keith, what do you think?
I think Edwards, if he goes to Charlotte, who's like the third pick,
Oh, okay.
I think he's going to be like he's going to develop into the guy there, and then he's going to these projections are I feel like are a little low if he goes to Charlotte. Uh, Definitely more points, a little bit more assist and a little maybe the rebounds stay the same, but I feel like he's like just the pure athlete he is. If he goes to Charlotte, I feel like he's going to blow up.
All right, Brandon, what were you saying about? I think it was Edwards.
Yeah, if he gets drafted third, he's definitely gonna put up 20 points a game. I don't understand why. Trae Young had 18 points a game in his rookie season. What and you think Anthony Edwards and LaMelo Ball are better or are not the same level of scorer that he is? Like
No, I think Trey Young is a better shooter than both those guys. I think LaMelo is a better facilitator than him, and obviously he's going to get more boards. Um, I think Edwards is more of an athlete, but I don't think he's the shooter he is. And like you were saying earlier, it's turned into more of a shooter's league. So I think people that can shoot the ball lights out are going to be
LaMelo can
averaging
shoot
more
the
boards.
ball,
Oh yeah, no,
and
like
Anthony Edwards can shoot the ball.
don't get me wrong. I mean, Edwards is a decent shooter. LaMelo's a really great shooter. I mean, I think Trey Young's a better shooter than both of them, and I think that's why he averages those numbers. I just think when it comes to the teams that they might go to, I think they might be asked to do different things. Like if LaMelo goes to the Warriors, I don't think he'll be asked to score the ball at a high rate. I think he's going to be asked to facilitate. If Edwards goes to if Edwards goes to Charlotte, then I see where you're coming from. I was thinking of him going second to Timberwolves, kind of right there. But if he goes to Charlotte, I can see him easily averaging like 18, 17, 18. Wiseman, I'm just seeing him going to either the Warriors or he falls down to Charlotte. If he falls down to Charlotte, put him 20 on there. If he goes to the Warriors, I got him at about 15. It was just kind of like where I think he could go. So, they might be a little mixed up, but it was just more of like, they could go to this team, so I'm gonna kind of hit it right here. But that was that right there. But I think the last thing we got is a hot take of the night. Zion is the all-star this season as a starter. What do you guys think about that?
I'm in on it.
Would
I
you?
think I'm in on the hype train with Zion. He's like a complete beast.
Yeah, for sure.
I think he'll make it.
Brandon?
Would you say, Jason?
Oh, I said Zion is an all-star this season as a starter. Is that a hot take?
I think it's kind of a hot take. I don't think he'll be a starter, but he'll be an all-star.
Yeah. I was thinking about it. I was like, man, I think he's definitely an all-star because I feel like he can average the numbers he had in his sleep just by how strong he is, and I hope he's in good shape, man. If he's in good shape, I think he could really have like jaw-dropping numbers. But I mean, we'll see what happens. If he becomes an all-star this season, I think he jumps into the MVP race. But he's in New Orleans. They got a lot of young talent. I don't think that's going to happen. They might make the playoffs, eighth seed maybe. We'll see what happens. But guys, that's all I got for you guys. I'll give y'all some 5 seconds of fame. What you guys got to say? Keith, you got 5 seconds to say whatever you want. What you got?
Guys, keep tuning into this podcast. I think it's really great. Yeah, that's about it.
Brandon, what about you?
Yeah, keep tuning in to the podcast. Go Hogs.
That's right. Go Hogs, baby. Oh, that's not good. Go Hogs, man. Hey, well, we're the Russ Sports Podcast. We love you guys. Tune in next week for some more sports content, and we will be back with some more sports content. Don't go away because we love you guys. See y'all. Thank you for listening to the Russ Sports Podcast. Want more information? Follow Russ Sports Podcast on Instagram and follow us on Spreaker at Russ Sports Podcast.